Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming to my very first webinar for this half years. And it's great to see you guys all. So today I'm going to talk about from overwhelming to be in control, and specifically on how we're going to do on the setting the boundary. So allow me to share my screen a little bit. Okay. And we're gonna set it there easily. Can you see the screen fully? Good one, right? All right. Okay. Thank you. All right, guys. So this part of the webinar is something very dear to my heart. It's just like when we passionate and doing something that we love, sometimes we could be easily to slip ourselves through something that we uh, become our subconscious mind, our subconscious old program. So it's come up as overly done, overly commit, and trying to make everyone happy except ourselves. And then be at the cost of our own time, our own resources, our own energy, our own space in the mind. So that's why I want to share with this part with you guys. Right, so let's just go with it. Yeah, as usual, we're going to show what we have done with in terms of the company that Coachology is exists over 10 years nowadays, and we specialize in creating coaching culture and certify other coaches in the regions. So let's just see that what does overwhelm really mean. So before that, has anyone ever feel overwhelmed before? Has anyone? Yeah, it's good.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it is like something. When do we feel overwhelmed? What do we feel, guys? What do we actually feel in that moment?
Draining.
Draining, couldn't arranging that what is actually we felt at the moment is like overload in every senses that coming through, right? And then it's affecting our capacity, our state, our performance, and everything. But let's see that what is it that means in the overwhelming in the dictionary. Overwhelming is when life demanding exceed our capacity. So just pause in that. It doesn't mean that we're not able to do stuff. We can do stuff. We still have fully intact of skill and everything, but it just over the capacity that can do in that period of time in terms of mentally, emotionally, physically, and emotionally as well. Right. So that is happen quite often when work is so overload and then life is having some sort of demanding in terms of moving, newborn, married. Married is a good thing, right? But if something hit like divorce or breakup, that is going to be on top of everything. Yep. So go on a little bit and see that it feel like everything is too much. It just right, left, under, beyond, and underneath is just too much. Couldn't know that which one should do first. We have a challenge in the prioritizing that what should we do first. Even we know what should we do. Many times we couldn't do according to our prioritize because of its overload and overwhelming in terms of digesting bit by bit. And we're going to talk about that and then see how can we prevent it before it's going in that way. So you can keep up no matter what, how hard you try, right? So where it's happened like when we over promising at work, when we over promising in life as well, because life is like a reflections of every dimension. When we over promising in one side of the life, we tend to over promising in life in every area of life as well. So it seemed to be too much overload. Has anyone been into that category? Yeah, in life, right? And in work as well, right? It wouldn't come at one side of the story, right? When it's happening too much at work, too much at life, and too much as a parenting, too much as a daughter, too much as a son, too much as a family as well, right? So go on. Let's see. Constantly giving, but never recharging. This is seem to be overwhelming. People who do the burnout and overload and not in control, it's tend to have the what we call in coaching is called pleaser mentality, pleaser patterns. Is giving of ourselves, giving our energy more than what we allow ourselves to receive and recharge because we felt like it's obligated and it must need to be done and giving for others. Familiar? Does anyone who fall into that category of pleasing? Me too. Me too. Right. And it's the first step of coaching is what? Self-coaching, the first step is aware of our own pattern, which is as far as the first step is aware and see the damage, and we can go on with that. Side that you overwhelm, always tired and scattering mind. Like if you felt like even the sleeping couldn't help, constantly require nap, constantly require coffee, constantly require energy drink, constantly require what you call lipo, employ, employ 150, or some of it is energized drinking, electrolyte, and you're giving more than you receive. You didn't provide or prioritize the timing toward your energy. Always tired, scattering mind, difficult to focus on making decision. When in a normal state, the normal task that we done at that moment in time, it seemed to be black and white, easy to make a decision, but we couldn't do it in that moment in time. It seemed to be scattering and couldn't make decision one step at a time. Often entangle a lot of things in the same time and nothing done properly. That's when overwhelm hitting. Say yes when you mean no. What does that mean? It's felt guilty that gonna say no, so I'm saying yes, and then you felt like, but I couldn't say. I'm not sure that I can do that in properly happy manner, but I already say yes. Or even inside, people ask you to do one more thing or to meet up after work, but you couldn't say no when your body need to rest or watching a movie on Netflix at home. You're still saying yes, even you don't want to do that. Guilty? Oh, guilty.
It's like people pleaser, nah?
Yeah, it is. It's actually people pleaser, and we, as a human being, we've been taught to be obedient, to be play along, to be loved, and to be liked in that sense. And this is happening when parenting is coming along when we were young, and we tend to be a good girl or good boy to the parents that we need to obey what they say to do. And we still carrying that little boy, little girl inside us when we grow up anyway. And then we felt resentful. What is that resentful, guys? Deep down is feeling like I shouldn't do that. I should have done that, or I shouldn't do that. So it's like twisted mind that things that you already done but you didn't want to do, or you should do things but you didn't do. So that's resentful. Pretty much every time when you feel resentful, there is a hidden anger inside it, and that anger is toward yourself, feeling anxiety, feeling anxious always, that feeling like I shouldn't sit here, I should do something else, I should go somewhere. When you're doing one thing, your mind going to a different other things, or feeling guilty. If you say able to say no something you felt like you should have done, or I feel guilty, I should do this for them, the boss asked to stay overtime, but I, yeah, in that case, most of us who are pleaser will stay. And then you feel guilty for the people at home, feeling like I should have been with them, but I have to stay home. So that is a twisted mind. It's even depleted more energy. So the part that you overwhelm already, over committed to do things, you still use the energy to worry and guilty about what you could do and guilt more. So it's a double in scattering all the energy around you, which is not into you, but spread it yourself so out of the energy. Yeah, right. So next, what does it mean in control? What do you think about what does it mean in control, guys? Have any idea?
You may decide the next move.
Sorry if I couldn't hear it.
You may be able to decide the next move.
You may able to decide. You mean like make your own decision without let other people to make a guilt trip or
Yes.
other thing, which is pretty much when we're not in control, we throw our power to other people's to kind of guilt trip us or demand us or control us to do something else. That is like it, not in control. But is that mean in control mean you have to be control everything? No, no way, right? Because life is never be able to control anything. In fact, we have to be in control for the thing that we most of the time cannot control. In control doesn't mean you control everything. It means you control your response. You in control of your response. Whatever is happen, it mean like sometimes things doesn't turn out to be the way that we want. We plan to get out of work earlier to get into the family unions, but suddenly even we planned it already 3 hours earlier, but there was no traffic, but suddenly there is an accident in the front of it, so make it even more traffic. So that is when you need to be in control of your own response to be able to do what's the next move. Because many of us, and including me, guilty on that, is like we throw our power and then blame other things. And then when we throw our power to other things outside us, we let the other thing outside us control the response of us. In fact, when we do, we need to be able to be response with whatever happened, and then we make a conscious decision to be able to know what we're gonna respond in whatever it happened. So for example, that we met with the traffic or unexpected accident. So what we gonna do? If we gonna sit and then angry or pray that it's gonna pass, or we gonna do something, call the family and then park the car and then do going to the different routes rather than in uncontrollable, right? So that is we draw our energy back to ourselves to be in control of our own situation. It's the state of being calm, clear, and intentionally instead of receiving, reactive, or rushing, right? Have you ever been in the emotion of rushing all the time or reactive? What does that mean, reactive? Reactive is just not in the response of ourselves in something that when it's happened, we just react immediately. And I myself rushing majority of the time in the past because I felt like it's never had enough time. And that is not true. If we in control of it, we could manage. We could set our states correctly and be able to do one at a time, right? Has anyone never rushed at all? Especially traffic, right? In Bangkok. You never sitting, you unmute yourself,
I
you never,
did. I did in the past.
you did in the past, but rushing or never rush?
Yeah, rushing all the time.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Especially going to school, right? In the morning. Yes, so that is when we calm inside, mean compose, able to articulate what is happening around us. Because according to the metaphysics, they say that everything happened for you. So when we're able to be calm, intentional, we're able to respond to the situation that happen around us rather than reactive. When you are in control, you manage your time, not the other way around, right? Usually we allow the time outside people, outside situation, this meeting, that boss, this co-worker or this peer or this staff to tell you what do you have to do rather than you in control and see the whole picture of the one day that you want to manage. And it takes a lot of time. Have you ever seen people who rush all the time? Do you notice them? So now I ask you to imagine seeing someone else who is actually in control. What is their characteristic or what is that look like?
Like stable, grounded,
Stable,
very neutral.
very neutral. It's almost like we can use the word grounding, right? They like to be in their own person and then receive the information, use some time to cultivate all the information and then go on with it with their own pace rather than allowing outside factor to push them in the rhythm that they not want to be or speed them up, which is that is a skill that we need to be able to. One thing that I could tell you in the past, I would say that meditation will help. And nowadays, look, and I would say that the thing that help you the most to be in control and calm is breathing exercise because of we hold a lot of urgency rushing in our nervous system. The breathing is the way to clear the nervous system by whatever that you felt to breathing. Usually is take a deep breath in, counting 1 to 4, holding, and then take a breath out, count 8. There are so many people leading in the breathing, but I will send into the group. It's called Breathing with Sandy. He's very, very good in that with the pace. He's never rushing. So that is a good way to clear our nervous system, to helping ourselves to be stay in our own body. You say no with guilty, without guilty. No, because you respect yourself. No, because you honor your energy. That is when we're able to be in control. Because it's actually is a myth, right? That we need to serve other people. Who should we serve first? All of the thing, everyone in the world is ourselves. Because when we full, we're able to help and serve other people even more. But if we're not able to be fully present and take care of ourselves, we're not able to serve others, because even ourselves, we couldn't get ourselves to be in the state of good state, right? So the next one is you focus what matters most. When you're in control, you can prioritize your day, your energy, and your things that what is important for you without rushing. The challenge is just because we couldn't let ourselves pause during the day. Louis Hay say many things that you don't owe anyone to pause. And it's even the most important that you need to pause when lots of emergency and lots of urgency happening. That is the time that you need to pause to set yourself straight, to organize yourselves, because otherwise things that urgency will be emergency if you don't leave yourself in the time that pause and then organize yourself so you can organize things around you, right? You can see picture, right? Because we didn't pause and then we drive ourselves or we drove ourselves to emergency many times. Who guilty on that? Me. I did that many times. So you protect your peace even in the chaos. What does that mean? Whatever is outside, shouting, yelling, and crazy stuff outside, it doesn't affect you if you in control. When we were kids, we often moved by other people outside us. And many of us still, little boy and little girl, moving by other people. And in our coaching way, we say that do not let your result of coaching from other coaches move you in any direction. If it's good, don't let it go to your heart. Sorry, don't let it go to your head. That's ego coming. Also, when it's bad, don't let it go to your head as well. It will damage you because there are lots of things. It's never be one side of the story, especially coaching is a co-creation and in other manner as well. It's never be one side. So we need to be able to compose. One of my mantra is already and I'm composed, already and I'm composed. So that's what I'm cultivate the day during my way of cultivation. So not allow anything to be able to affect me otherwise. Even so, still have some from time to time, but that is majority of time I draw my own energy back to the center that is in control. You know this quote, between stimulus and response, there is space, right? In that space, we choose to grow and have a freedom. If we didn't do that correctly, we will be a slave or prisoner of whatever it is, right? So if we say yes to the thing that we want to say no, we'll be captured into the overtime that we need to sit in the office while we supposed to be somewhere else, or we want to choose to do something else, right? In that one. So yeah, boundary. The only way to be in control is just to set boundary. Who is very, very good in setting boundary? No, no, right? No. Yes, I used to be a very, very bad setting in boundary, either too much or either doesn't have it. When it's too much is when I got hurt, so I gone to overprotect it. And when I were pressure, I have no boundary, especially the people that I love and I want to please them. So no boundary, which is that is very bad. And you know, boundary is actually protect us in our own times, our own energy, our own values, our own well-being. I think someone takes something, right? Message. Yep. How to set boundary in the family and relative. Yeah, okay. That is a very interesting, you know, family and relative is the same thing with other people. It might look a little bit challenged because we've been taught and we've been told to what? To put them first more than us. And then coming back again. Everyone in the metaphysic world, and let's just reflect a little bit. When you born, what is your responsibility? What is your responsibility when you're born? Let's just challenge that a little bit.
Eat, sleep, play.
Eat, play, yeah. So I could say that we born to explore and have joy. That is our nature of all the guru that I'm listening and then hearing it, because of when we experience joy, we can share the joy to the world. The energy is contagious. So when we in the joyful state, we're able to share. So to be able to do the boundary, that means we take care of ourselves. And many myths would say that self-care or boundary is a selfish. which is not true. Self-care is the first thing to be able to do more, explore more, and be more. So that's why boundary is very important. You know, even a husband and wife, boundary is still important. Boundary to say that tonight is no lovemaking night. Tonight, I'm going to eat alone. Or tonight, I'm just going to go sleep early. Because the next day is called different way. Or in the way of to be able to, some woman is a mother and some man is a father that need to be take turn on that. If you cannot take care of yourself, how will you gonna be able to take care of others, right? So to be able, I'll come back to how we're gonna set boundary to our family, but let's just go with the slide a little bit. Okay, boundary is the invisible line. Define what's okay and what's not okay with your time, emotion, energy, and resources. So how do you set that boundary? When would you know it's the time to set that? They're not about shutting people out. They are showing people and teaching and training people how to treat you. Healthy boundaries are clear, respectful, consistent. You know who break our boundary the most? Ourselves, because sometimes, many times, we never communicate that to any people. And then when it's been breached, we got angry. And then when the other person trying to come back and break that boundary again, we let it slip because it's not clear and we not respect our own boundaries. So people will persistent to do that. Like, okay, I'll say this. If it's in the family, like some family demand, even it's having their own family already, demand the son and the daughter to come back to have a Sunday meeting, Sunday lunch every Sunday. And then everyone didn't want to go that, but then because the father or the mother need to put up with that. So when they break their own boundary, one of the parents, that causing them to break the whole boundary of the whole family on immediate family rather than the birth family. So that is causing and teaching the children to be able to not be able to set the boundary, and then causing a lot of emotional damage, and then create an angry and other things, which is we need to clear what we want. We need to respect that, and we need to be consistent and communicate along that one. So I'll tell you this story because I'm coaching a lot of people. When the birth parents or birth family are toxic, and then you still want to go back to meet them, you even need to be able to set the clear boundary to say that whenever they talk about this topic, how will you communicate to them? How will you fade off? And how will you communicate to them to not put up with that kind of conversation, right? You know, whenever the family gathering, you just say something looks like concern or in a good way, but just say that you look fat in among of other family, or when you're going to get married, or how much money you make, things like that. It need to be set the boundary, which is a lot of many people using that as a caring, as the concern to be able to do so. So I call that, they like to use the word in the name of caring, in the name of love, they do what they want to do. So in that way, if you don't set the boundary or communicate to them, what will happen? What is happening is they will keep doing and doing it along the way even more. And then what? Because the first time you're able to kind of let go. And then the second time you suppress yourself to let it breach your boundary instead of communicate. And then about a couple of times, third time, you will be resent the person, and then you will get angry. And if it's in the context of work or colleague or work area, workplace, you will be able to easily, explode, get angry or get physical because of things that you should communicate. Since the very beginning, you didn't do that. You put up with it until you build yourself to the state of violence because of you cannot sustain that anymore. Okay, next slide, we're going to talk about how to build it, right? But this one, you feel overwhelming. Overwhelming with what? Life feel too much. The bridge between chaos and calm, right? So how is that? If you're able to be in control, you feel centered, intentional, calm, clear, make a clear decision, be grounded. We talk about this is the language. First, you need to know that when you're in control, what kind of words and language that is important to be able to know that you're in control. Feeling centered, composed, calm, clear, present, empowered, peaceful, grounded, and confident to know that whatever you do it with your 100%. Right? You need to mindful on your time, your energy, your headspace, your value as well. We can think different, but there is no attacking in the thinking indifferent. Right? Next one. So why we struggle with boundary? Why? We talked a little bit before, because lack of clarity. We not even know that we able to demand the boundary. We need to know that everyone, including us, deserve to get the respect, to be able to feel safe in every interaction. If it's not present, we have the right and we have responsibility to communicate to the person and the people that around that situation to be able to demand our fundamental right. Fear of rejection. Yeah, this has happened a lot with the pleaser. Because when pleaser want to communicate that it get intruded in our boundary, we fear of that person is gonna reject us. It may or it may not. But the point is, do we want people in our life that keep testing our boundary? Do we want them into our life? There are two things that if we communicated that, please speak to me with a nice tone and respectful way, the way that I speak to you. There is the only two things. First, they will get shocked because of no one want to be point out that they're wrong. And then they either change it because they care us enough, or they will fade away. If they fade away, it's actually our good luck, because we shouldn't have that people around. Or if that is the family, I tell you, because I'm doing this with my own family, that will be the time, the distance to readjust. It wouldn't be immediately that they're able to respect immediately, but it's a good thing. So we can recalibrate the new way of communicating. Because many times in the family and the sibling, they saw you when you were, and you saw them when we are a little one, right? And then we we intrude each other boundary. Just think it that you're the first in the family that you're going to break the cycle of toxicity. by creating the boundary and also encourage the family members to make the boundary as well. So we are able to loving and caring each other in the uplifting and empower family together. But as normal, anything that just happening, it will take some time and take some awkward. You just need to be able to practice it in the non-aggressive way. The only way can do non-aggressive way by communicate in the early time. If you've been breached boundary by one time and you're still angry, you go back and compose yourself and ask for state talk next time when you're able to in control, and telling them that it's actually because I'm care about you. I love you and I want you in my life and I want to be uplifting to each other. That's why we have this conversation. Because if I don't care about you and I don't want you, I wouldn't, right? I wouldn't initiate this difficult talk together. That's the family. Begin with how much you care and love them. So the interaction together will be nice and heaven rather than seeing each other every time. It's just feeling like a which hell level that I'm going to go into, right? In that way. And initiate things differently. It takes courage. It takes initiative, and you can do it. When you can do it, it's felt, I mean, I coach a lot of executive who even in the top VP unable to be able to speak in certain type of people or human or certain characters because of, guess what? Because of what? Because there is a pattern inside them that they need to overcome with that. And it's a skill. It's not just one day you snap the finger and then it's happened. It starts from awareness. It starts from knowing what you want. It starts from there and then communicate through that, right? So lack of clarity, fear of rejection, guilt. We talk about that, guilt, right? People that in our life shouldn't have the guilt trip or make us feel less or doing something wrong. That is not the way to do it. If you feel that way, communicate it as well. But compose yourself first or seek out coach or the third party that is not actually involved with your interaction. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to. You never talk, and then suddenly you're going to talk and then you go naturally, purely. It's going to be setting up for what? For failure. So you need to do some role play practicing with your coach, with the third party that able to have the emotional skill, EQ. If you talk to someone who never done this, it's just asking people, what is the ocean look like to the person that is blind? So do not be that person, right? And people pleasing, yeah. One day people pleasing is just gonna want to, you know what is the ultimatum of people pleasing? Who they need to please?
Someone else.
Themselves.
Oh, themselves. Okay.
Every people pleasing need to be able to come back to please them, to know what they actually want, and then they fulfill themselves rather than keep running around to please others. So when they're able to come back, draw energy back to themselves, please themselves for what it felt like. So if it doesn't feel like they get the acceptance, they get the approval in ourselves, love ourselves, tap in the shoulder, you're doing good. There is room to improve, but I'm proud of you. That is how to be able to come back to the energy of us. So just looking at it, that if you struggle in the boundary setting up, which part that is seem to be you, because there is a link between each other, right? If you are people pleasing, it's guilt, it's a fear of reaction, and you not even know what do you want. That is seem to be a very hit in every dimension. Yep. And you need to know that who do you want to please the most? that show a lot of pattern, and underneath that in the emotional and the pattern that we need to be able to make peace with it. And confronting whom is the most scariest in the world. Does anyone know? Yeah, anyone? Message, anyone at all? Confronting anyone is the most scariest in the world. Does anyone know? They say that the most person that we scare the most is the dark side of us, or the true self of us, that where we stuck. So to be able to confronting what we are and what our pattern is the most scariest. That's why we need to be very gentle to ourselves to identify what is the pattern. If you identify that you are people pleasing, I'm sure you're not a people pleasing to everyone. You certain type of people pleasing. And take note, jot note, and then you can go on with the next level, that what you want to do with it in your own time, in your own way. So the making boundary will be easier. Anything else that could make the boundary struggle to set it up? It could be something like related to the rejection, like the authority, that how could we communicate to the boss? How could we say no to the boss? When that be? So if that is out of reach, you need help from someone that you can trust, and then walk around this before. It not happening one night, but start from awareness and acceptance.
I have a question.
Please,
Can you?
ha.
Yeah. So I think now I'm getting to something. Can we say that this dark part of ourselves is like a shadow of ourselves? Like it's observing us and always it's really the dark side of us, which we don't know as well. Can we say that?
Yeah, many people call shadow work or dark side in terms of depend on the vocabulary. But what is that dark side or shadow? Is that really mean, Kevin? What is that really
From
mean?
what I understand,
Mm-hmm,
there is a Netflix show, recently
mm-hmm,
about the mother who is actually texting to the daughter to even kill herself. That
mm-hmm,
there's a really dark side of the mother that no one knew until we watched this. What calling catfishing or something like that. It's a ultra hidden personality of the mother that acted
mm-hmm,
like a boyfriend and even
mm-hmm,
discouraged the boyfriend from having a relationship with the daughter, and
mm-hmm.
things like this it's very deep psychoanalysis. So that's why I'm just bringing this up for
Yes,
knowledge.
thank you very much for having a participate with us and courage around that. I would say that everyone have the positive side and negative side, which is in coaching world we call negative and positive. Pretty much it's built into the pattern of positivity and the pattern of negativity. Parents is also the children that's sitting in themselves as well. But we met them when we were little, and then we think that they perfect, because that in every children's eyes, the parents is perfect and angelic. And we forgot that parents is also go through life, which is some of the parents gone through the difficult in life that cannot imagine. So if I say that why is a dark side of it, people who are facing a difficulty in life, they seem to trying to get out of that by recurring the same event with the different time and different people. Okay, I say it again. When anything that coming to our life and then causing unresolved emotion issue, we tend to draw and attract that. This is a scientific. Okay, I say this again. So look back into some time that when it's always happened like this. It's the pattern in life that if we see certain people that we couldn't know how to deal with it, and then it's gone wrong, and we hit that again in life. Do you see where I'm coming from? Do you get where I'm coming from? So we will draw the same type of event or the same type of people again and again to be able to resolve it. That's the nature. But some of us can have a learning and get over that pattern or that difficult situation. Many of us cannot. So when that is happened too many times, it create the different personality. And the dark side is the side that we couldn't get out to the light. We dealt with the difficulty in the very shadow and bad quality, like that mother. So she repeated again. That means if you look back and track back, pretty much the mother happened to be able to victim of her own activity. I say this, when someone, okay, let's just say this, there is a certain community and certain nationality, it's called pattern, right? So when I used to coach a lot of people who come from certain family that pushing women down, make the girl do a lot of things, and then cherish the boy, which is doesn't have to do anything, and then she's traumatized from that, and doing that for all of her life. She got angry, but once when she become the mother and she have her own daughter, she passing her own pain to the daughter. Do you see where I'm coming from, Kelvin?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's very, very true.
And then there is another mother who facing quite similar, which is being suppressed as a woman, as a young girl. And when she commit herself to not passing this pattern to the next generation, once when she have the daughter and the son, she treat it equally. So there is a phase that when be careful when you're fighting your monster, make sure that you not turn to be one. Have you heard about that? Because what in NLP we say that when we focus on something very long, it could turn us to become one or to overcome it. That is like very, very deep. And I saw that so many times in the different personality. I saw that in the dysfunction personality. They want to overcome this, and then at the end, they couldn't overcome. They turn to be one. So that's why we need to know that we not walk this earth alone. We have so many support. You just have to reach to the right support. I will want to be able to reach to the right support and then get through this. So that's why nowadays I'm doing whatever I can to whomever want my support, that I want to walk with them. So the shadow path is just the part that still stick in the subconscious mind, which is 95 to 98%. We unaware of it, and we react to the situation the same way when we react when we were 5 or 7 years old. Even nowadays, we're 40, 50, 60. Because it's the memory is according to the neuroscience, when it's hurtful or happy, we snap the picture of that memory and freezing in our brain. So whenever we appear or trigger around that, we either reliving that again and then become the same 5 years old or 7 years old. Am I make myself clear?
Yeah, actually, even for me, I can share my experience.
Please, yeah.
Whatever that I receive, let's say a toy when I was young, or
Mm-hmm,
listen to music. So
mm-hmm,
whenever I want to cheer myself, when I listen to this music, for instance, I grew up in the Saturday Night Fever time, Bee Gees. So when I
uh-huh,
listen to that song, Staying Alive, I
yeah.
rejuvenate myself, for instance.
Mm-hmm,
So it's about how our childhood development or the picture of ourselves is very important. So that's why, yeah, good sharing actually.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I see the message and say that how can we set the assertive boundary? It's more like assertive, but not aggressive. Do you know where I'm coming from? Like, okay, in the past, I used to have an inner conflict on a certain type of men speaking to me very long, very loud and suppressing, and I having an urge, a trigger, trying to punch it many times when I was a young girl. And then I work through it, and I see that, and I just try to communicate, be the change that you wish to see the world. So I want to be treated as a lady. I need to speak as a lady to the gentleman. So whenever the other man doesn't treat me the way it is, so I can rehearsal, role play, and speak it to myself that I am a lady. I deserve to be spoken with the lady language. Until then, that you can reach to the lady language with me, you can speak to me again. Thank you very much. So when you are able to, but God, do you think that I happen to snap my finger and then put on my avatar? No, it's a lot of rehearsal. It's a lot of, because of me who need to heal this part of myself. I need to be able to release negative emotion, to be able to assertive, firm, composed, and calm, and saying that I'm not demanding him or them to speak to me nicely. I'm just straight my right by saying that I'm a human being, I'm a lady, I am operate in that function. If you want to speak to me, operate in my function. Otherwise, talk later without having a hard feeling. Because otherwise, if you still assertive or aggressive, it's gonna causing the breach in the subconscious mind and causing another complex personality in ourselves. You see where I'm coming from? Yep. All right. So that's why the best and greatest medicine is our own awareness, to see that what is bugging us in terms of out of control. What do we spread the power all over it? What is that part? Either that say yes easily or let people talk down us. There will be a typical things, and then make note with it and seeing that from whom that you take on so much. So a couple of clients that I dealt with it, that they're very sharp and attack and bite back to people, but when come back to home, they become like submissive, which is, I'm quite surprised that how is this two person? I mean, it's look like two or three person, but that is the starting point to see that which personality that we submissive to. Right? Do you see where I'm coming from, guys? Wow, this is a very interesting topic, right? I'm so passionate about this as well. So let's go on a little bit. The cause of weak boundary. When you don't set boundary, what could happen, right? When we don't set the boundary, mental energy, right? It's, you don't feel right? You feel worried, you feel fatigued, you feel like you couldn't be yourself. It's just like a bridge or a fracture of your personality doesn't being taken care of. That is a lot, because of the purpose in life. We should be in the joyful state. That's why coaching coming a lot, because coaching is coming to the good word, good thinking, good experience. We couldn't get out of it without positive learning, and coaching helping a lot. Also combining with the nervous system clearing. There are so many things, like people do qigong, tai chi, swim, gyms, depend on what the body type to help to that. Emotional health, resentment, guilt. Do you know when we have a mental inequality, we have a guilt and frustration is actually attacking our body. So has anyone heard about Louise Hay before? I think you know about Louise Hay, right? And she's the pioneer around that every organ and every being in our life, every cell is carry the vibration. So when we say love, a good words, the vibration is a different hurt. But when we say bad word and bad thought, it's carry a different vibration, affect different organ, depend on whatever it is. There is still science and myth, people still working it, and it's come out very, very fast right now. So let's just say that people who have a heart attack, pretty much usually what caused them in terms of emotion, guys, people who often have a heart attack is someone that wanting to change someone else and things in the world and didn't get the result according to what they want. So that is affecting the heart directly. If you want to look through it, we can talk about that more. That's in my thesis as well. I'm really get into it this. So it's affect mental, emotion, time, because we're going to spend so much time to do what things that we don't want to do and spend so much time to regret what we shouldn't do or should do, right? Another thing is just we couldn't recharge ourselves properly. So the peace of mind is there. No, it's zero of it. So that's why we just need to be able to start to know what is stopping us from creating the healthy boundary in the constructive and assertive boundary. Right? Benefit of healthy boundary, you have tons of time. You can have a headspace, peace of mind to do whatever that you want to do. You have more clarity, didn't have to kill to the world that why they did that to me and why don't I respond in the way that I should respond. So it's just a mix and badly in the mind. Better relationship to that person. It will cost you some relationship though, I tell you, when you create the boundary. But that cost is a ROI of having a new relationship that better, whomever it is. I'll tell you, to be honest. So if no one unable to respect your boundary, that's mean it's time. It's time to checking up, asking for a readjustment. If they're able to adjust accordingly, they will deserve into your circle. If they cannot, maybe it's time to look through a different circle. And lots of time people will fall off because of your vibration and the way that you think and talk and feel is a different the way that they talk to you. And that's okay. Wish them luck and wish them joy because we depart. How many times in life that we depart from each other? Lots. One day, if they're meant to be, it might come back, or maybe it's a blessing that they never come back. Who knows, right? Emotional balance and calm, more happier, you more positive, affecting other people around you. You do more things that you love. You have more energy to do tons of things that is matter to you. Confident, self-trust. This is very key. Because if you're able to set boundary, self-respect and self-esteem is to the roof. It's just like, I'm proud of myself to be able to set the standard in life. We should be able to set the standard in life. And whoever that challenge your worth, they need to put out the boundary and talk about that. Hey, let's just realign this. This is not the way that it's supposed to do. right? Doesn't matter that relationship, life or professionalism. Many times as the company, we need to stand up and saying that this is a questioning boundary. The way that you act is not professional. You're doing something that is not a norm and typical. You're questioning that the respect to business partnership is happen there or not, right? But it's no need to be aggressive. If you're able to speak it up, if you're able to compose yourself and role play and set it before you express it to the person that questioning your boundary or intrude your personal space, is very important. Reach out to the people, to us, if you feel that is important for you. We're here for you. Boundary don't push people away. They teach people how to meet you respectfully if that people want to be in your cycle. It's never push people away. This boundary as husband and wife, as I do a lot of meditation, I do a lot of couple counseling, is actually bring them together to understand more on how to live the life happier in the family, mother, daughter, father, mother, whatever it is. I do a lot of CEO and VP to be able to communicate directly, because when we angry, the boundary been breached. It's a lot of them to be able to communicate nicely, to be professional. So we need to realign the communication, set boundary, set agreement as the mediator or coach. That's helped them to come back to the place a lot. And of course, some people will not like to play in that way. And it's okay, right? We will, there is another lots of way to deal with it. All right. I answer a lot and then maybe I'm gonna be a little bit more. So 4N boundary framework, noticing it. First, you will check that what do you feel? If you feel I call hiccup, if you interact with someone and then you feel hiccup, it doesn't smooth, it feel like knee jerk or something shot you. That is the clue that, oh, maybe I need to do something around my boundary. Or after the interaction, you feel drained, or you feel like you shouldn't do that, or you should do this. That is the clue. Name that feeling. In the past, when a people pleaser, whenever I interact with anyone, when I came back home, I feel drained, exhausted. And that is a cycle that over years, and I need to be able to get out of that. Noticing the feeling, name that feeling. And then what is it? What is it? Negotiate. Communicate. Negotiate with whom first? With yourself. With yourself. That what you're going to do. Role play with it. Ask for help from someone that's able to help you and articulate it. And then see that what do you want. The key is self-compassion to yourself, because it might happen all our life, and then you just learn in that moment that you let the boundary breach. So you could get angry on yourself, which is just fine. Just saying that, lucky me, I found it now. I'm good now, and then go on with it. Step 1, notice, right? Noticing it. Aware it, observe our tone, our energy level, our way of the communication, and aware other person as well. Right? Maybe someone saying something. Sorry, I'll try to read the message. Okay, no worry, Darren. Thank you for coming. So I know that I take a little bit longer, but I think it's important. Bye-bye, Darren. Thank you very much, Darren. So second step is, my circle doesn't go. First step is awareness, noticing yourself, noticing that Sometimes people intrude in your space by keep sending you a message or keep calling you in the inappropriate time. So that is something that, or people knocking on your door at 10 o'clock or midnight, something like that. Aware of it, noticing, take note, find the book, some book, because that was the start in your head. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge them as well. But first, don't judge yourself. Don't give the thing that happened is too much energy. Just aware that you aware. And cherish that you're able to aware this time, which is you never aware it before, right? And resentment in your body, the way that you feel angry, that is the crew. No worry, guys. Thank you. And sorry for late. If you're still here, I'm happy to do so. Yeah, so that's the awareness, right? So second one is, hang on. You okay? Sorry, my computer doesn't want to listen to me nowadays. Name it. The example will be, get clear on what's okay for me, what's not okay for me, what I need to protect my space. Once you notice the drain, you name it. You name the emotion that, what's okay for me, right? It's okay for me to call me by 10 o'clock, but otherwise you can send a message if it's not urgent, right? So you need to know that what is okay, what's not okay, so you can communicate to that person directly. Yeah. Negotiate it many times. Negotiate with kind and calmly. But this one, I actually asked you to meet with some people who outside of it, role play and replay, and know that what do you want to be able to replay with other people, right? So let's just say that in the meeting, they yelling at you, and you might be able to not respond it, or say it kind and firmly in the meeting that please speak to me with the nice tone. We are professional here. But that is need some of the rehearsal before. If you are some sort of a person that allow people to yelling at you, that's the first step. Rather than yelling or cry and run out. If you don't do it, you might be emotional and cry and run out. And if that happens, it's okay. There is help out there. People don't know your boundary unless you tell them. And if you tell them already and then they're still doing it, people often need to be here, your boundary, more around 3 to 5 times to be able to be in effect, depend on how you communicate. If you know that you communicate already, you need to do this. According to last conversation, I already told you this. Remember, don't take personal. People is people. In center, nurture yourself, be compassion, set boundary, live with it. And sometimes it's not even the personal thing, it's just the people habit. Sometimes people will test them, especially family member, because they can do that for a very long time. They will test, they will tease, they will poking, depend on how you respond. If you gone reaction, they're gonna keep doing that. So if you're not ready, just be bit by bit, okay? It's the hardest one is the family member. You are not responsible for other people's reaction. Stay calm. Why can't you do this? Every time you can do it. Every time I make a mistake. This time onwards, I want to be in center. Nowadays, it's changed. So that's it. Like, find a creative way make sure that you're able to be certain. All right. Any other questions since we are already here together? Sorry for the time if you need to leave. Any other question you want to talk? No? You know that if you have any question, you can send a direct message to me and choose one small boundary to set. I want you to write down now what boundary you want to set. I start by the person that I feel comfortable to speak up with. Please write down. Choose one, anyone that you feel like it. Role play. Communicate clearly and kindly to yourself first. So let's just say that, oh, there is a message, right? If you want your husband to play game less, okay, yes. So after whatever time it is, after midnight, I don't want to be in the contact. So my reachable time is till midnight. After that, I have no responsibility to communicate at that period of time. Thank you very much. So that prepare, know what you want to communicate, and then prepare your words in the calm, kind, certain, and powerful but kind. When you read it a couple of times that you feel powerful, in control, and kind and calm, you can communicate that words to the person that you want to set boundary with. If you can't, reach out. Want to go deeper. As well as it's just, we have a upcoming training, which is many of you already in. We have an NLP 5-day certification in number 15 to 19 November. If anyone already study with us, you can come and join and then say hi and give a hug. Let us know. We can save you the space with that. So is 2 MCC and 4 certification in one internationally. And this is the benefit of self-aware, knowing the patterns, mental health, communications, and my computer, emotional intelligence. All of that, you can build the relationship as well. So let us know if you want to come, and there is a price that is special rate for you. If you like it, just contact us and Ari will answer you. I'm really having fun, so I hope you have fun as well. To be clear, okay, last message. To be clear on the setting boundary, I cannot stand angry and disrespectful people. Exactly. Yeah. So it just like whenever people angry and disrespectful, it just, you could say something like, I don't think in the state of your emotion at this moment in time is the right time for us to speak. Whenever we be in the neutral, we can recalibrate back again. So I hope you have fun as I am, and thank you very much for you guys to stay together. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone. And if anyone want to see us more, reach out. And Kun Pan, just reach out to me if you feel like you want to go tomorrow. We're having a lot of activity at Coachology and the Foundation. So glad to see the family fan and then the new fan as well. Thank you for staying together for 7:15. Thank you very much. See you next week in a different one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Good night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. See you.